Welcome back to the Get Off My Lawn podcast, episode 9. We're flying right through it. This is TJ. With me, as always, is my father, Tom. How you doing today?
Good. It's a good week.
A good week. We're a little happier this week than we were last week.
I mean, what's not to be happy about? The stock market's fantastic. I probably had the best week I've ever had in the stock market. So that plus played golf yesterday, I'm going to be single for one more week.
Single? I don't think single is actually the right terminology here. Dangerous terminology almost, even.
Well, not married. I'm going to be married in a week. So everything right now is the last thing I had before I got married. I should change my bar of soap out, but I'm saving it because it's my last bar of soap as a single guy. And then I got all these other things.
Awesome. Lucky Melanie.
Yeah, everything's the last time. Friday will be the last time I golf as a single guy when we all go. Yeah, everything's
single. Single is, again, the wrong word. You're dangerous terminology there.
Hey, man, you're either married or single. I'm not married.
All right, well,
when people ask me on my driver's license, everything, I say single. Because there's no fiance, there's no you're banging a chick, there's nothing.
You'll have to change the Facebook status.
Yeah, Facebook status. I hope during Melanie's bachelorette party she was engaged, not single.
She came home. I saw her on the camera last night from her bachelorette party, and she's out in the car talking to somebody for like a half an hour.
Half an hour?
Well, the person dropping her off, the girlfriend dropping her off. I'm like, what in the hell could they possibly? She got to pee by now. But yeah, they're out there half an hour talking.
Fun. Again, we are on VFTB Radio on SoundCloud, Voices from the Balcony. There's some opinions that might not jive with everybody else there, but it is what it is. He's going to say whatever he feels like. If you want to text us, it's 1-843-418-3673. That's 418-FORE. We want to hear from you guys. We actually got a couple texts. You want to read those off before we jump into the stocks that you were enjoying seeing this week and all that?
Whatever
whatever I want. That sounds great. We're going to keep that energy for the rest of the way. Not just the podcast. All right. Actually, we got the third time we've heard from Martin from Nashville.
The people are going to start thinking he's a cousin now or something.
No, it was actually really elegant what he said. You guys still suck. Martin from Nashville.
That was it. Yeah. It's like they say, so many liberals watch Fox News. The opposition, they tune in. So that's why we kind of like the haters. I'd rather have you,
Yeah, and this is the only FaceTime Martin's going to get, is hearing his name read on our sucky podcast.
Well, you're happy to know our viewership is growing exponentially.
It really is. It's awesome to be doing it, and even if you think we suck, that's perfectly fine. Get the fuck off our lawn. All right, next up, we got Steve from Columbia. I think Columbia, we've gotten quite a few.
We've had a Columbia before.
Yeah.
I don't know if it was Steve or not.
I don't think so.
He said, love the Mount Rushmore. More of that and less rants.
Oh, well, hey, you can't win them all.
I think we're going to get a few more rants along the way. Last one is going to be Howie from Wilmington. Shout out, Howie. That's some funny shit. Don't agree with everything, but respect that you don't hold back.
That's good.
Two positive ones. We need a few more like Martin.
I know. I texted one of my friends back home in New York. I said, we actually get fan mail from this shit. He's like, yeah, get out of here. I go, yeah, here. And I sent him a couple clips.
Yeah.
But
I'm hoping that some of them start reaching out, and maybe even anonymously, and tell you that you suck.
No, nobody's done that. I don't use it on my personal stuff too much. Every now and then I'll say something.
All right, you were talking about the stock market a little bit. What's going on with that?
Well, I'll tell you something that did irritate me this week, but it was a local thing. There was a local thread on Facebook, one of those news outlets around here, And somebody posed a question about there's a data center that wants to come here and open up. And I looked in the comments and they're just so freaking negative. And I'm just like, how stupid can you be? You know, that you wouldn't want a data center coming in our area. And it's like that with anything. Anytime something's going to open up around here, you get all these crybabies on there. You know, I don't even know if half of them live here. But it's just so stupid. You know, you got all these jobs it's going to create. And if you paid attention at all, you know that these data centers are coming with their own power plants and they're able to create their own power and they're not using your power. And actually their excess power, they're going to be able to sell back into the grid, which is going to help reduce your power. But people don't pay attention. They don't watch the right news, you know. And I'll give you an example when it comes to data centers. It was 8 or 9 months ago, Trump and all of the people on TV, the press conferences, you don't see the ones that, you know, are, you actually have to go look yourself, that talk about data centers, and how much, oh, in Saudi Arabia, this many trillions of dollars for data centers and all these things that are happening, data center. So it's like to myself, because I'm just a simple man, I should look into buying some stocks in a data center. So then I watch Fox Business every day instead of news. I watch Fox Business, political news. I watch that. And I learned, you know, which are the best and most upcoming data centers to purchase. So I go buy, there's one for sale, this 8 or 9 months ago for $12. Now you could go buy 100 shares for, or you could buy, 1,000 shares like I did. So, it's $12,000. That's a lot of money to a lot of people. I understand that. But, it was $42 this morning, in 8 or 9 months. So while you are all bitching about, don't want a data center here, wah, you could have made $30,000 or $40,000 or more in the last 9 months if you paid attention, but you don't. You don't pay attention. If you would pay attention to when the quantum computing was really big last year because it was emerging and they had a couple breakthroughs. And if you'd watch business channels, you'd see like, wow, quantum computing really looks like the next big thing. So then I go buy a stock for $3.80. $3.80. So yeah, a couple thousand shares. That's 7,000. That's a lot of money to people, but you could have bought 700. Well, I sold half of it when it hit $45. $45. That was within a few months of buying that. So, my point is these people that spend their time bitching on Facebook and online about how they don't want any form of progress whatsoever, if they'd have put that energy into just watching a different channel, you'd want all sorts of growth. But that's my gripe, is just how stupid people are and that they don't take advantage of it. These are not big numbers. I'm not a big rich guy. I'm just retired and I'm home and I can play around with an IRA. All you have IRAs. If you have $100,000 in there, they let you pick and choose what you want. I did it for my future wife. My friend's doing it for his wife. You can go pick these things and you could kill it and enjoy all what's going on up there. But nope, get a sign, go protest, get online, tell everybody how everything sucks. And I'm going to have a good old time. Next.
I mean, as far as rants go, that wasn't bad. We just had somebody ask for less rants. We gave you a good 6-minute one.
Hey, there's nothing, we should not be banned from anything. And last week's, we got problems. Not a lot of you are going to see that unless you look it up on YouTube at Barn Door Innovations, or if you look it up on Facebook under Get Off My Lawn.
You won't find it on TikTok because TikTok refused to let us put it up there because it was hate speech. We were saying negative things about liberals, and that became hate speech. So we're really sorry that we hate you.
No, I'm not sorry. I'm glad it's out there. And I'm glad that people could look it up and say, oh my God, that nice guy, is that crazy? I like that it's there. And if anybody listening wants to go give us a hand and go get a couple of views on there, that'd be great.
I will say we kind of made our bones in this whole thing by telling people what sucks out there. So you should tell people when things suck. We're not shitting on that because we got over 100 videos specifically telling people, what sucks. But you guys don't come up with your own ideas of what sucks. You just jump on whatever's popular and ride the wave of popularity and the consensus idea we should all feel this way. So big difference between what you do and what they're doing, I suppose.
Yeah. Well, it is what it is. And I really didn't hear anything you said. I was thinking about something else.
That's fine. That's normally the way we do things here. Speaking of thinking about something else, so you just basically are doing individual stocks. You're not looking at the ETFs.
No, I did ETFs for because on Melanie's side of things, I didn't want to go too aggressive. So I did get her one 4 or 5 months ago, and it was semiconductors, the ETF for semiconductors, and it's up like 80%. So she's quite happy with me with that one.
And are you looking at like the analytical data of where it's been and how it's tracking before you're making these decisions, or are you just kind of winging it based on the vibe?
Volume is important, and then I trust some of the advice from certain people on Fox Business. They have really credible people. Like Charles Payne, who's on at 2:00, is absolutely outstanding, super brilliant, and really cares. He really cares. The guy. He wants you to make money, and he should have been given the 4:00 slot on after Neil Cavoto got kicked off, but they gave it to Will Kane. That's fine. But Charles Payne's outstanding. He's the reason I got the quantum computing stock.
Put you on the right track.
To a 20-minute deal he did on quantum computing about a year ago.
And do you have like specific rules that you're setting up? Like once something hits a certain point, you're making a certain move, or you just...
No, they're all long-term stuff. So like at the end of the year, if I had a couple of losers, I might sell them because I get to write that off. But you don't want to sell these stocks because then you have to take capital gains tax. And, so you don't want to pay 25%. And so, I let it ride. A lot of times, when it goes up so much, so quickly, you want to take at least half off the table and put a nice little profit. All the money you invested, you got back plus some. And then the rest of it now is all gravy. So you just hold on to it, hope it gets to $200 a share someday in a year or two. But for the most part, I'm not actively trading all the time. I'm not. Maybe once every 3 or 4 months, I call the broker and say, get rid of this one, get this one.
I know that not all of this is going to hit with everybody. I know that not everybody cares about the stock market, especially our large following in Chad, the nation of Chad. We have a very large following out there. So we do. I'm not sure why, but you're probably not going to enjoy this portion of the pod. And, it'll happen from time to time.
Hey, if they come by, I asked Grok this last night or this morning, maybe. Grok, if I bought Amazon in 2001, how much a share was it? And Grok did the computations because of all the stock splits that have taken place since then. So by today's comparison, the stock for Amazon 25 years ago was 20 cents each. 20 cents each.
20 cents.
So if I'd have just taken $10 a month and bought Amazon stock back then, or $20 a month and just put it away, you'd be a millionaire today. So even if you're in Chad, once you get done digging up the diamonds for the other guy, go buy some stock.
I mean, yeah, if you do get compensated for that diamond digging, definitely look into.
Isn't that where they dig diamonds? I don't know.
I'm not really sure what happens in Chad other than the fact that you're big there. That's the main thing I know about that country. You're very popular in Chad.
Thanks for looking.
I'm not sure what we're saying that's hitting with you guys, but you're so consistent. We appreciate that.
Maybe there's a military base somewhere out there.
That could be it. That could be it. I'm not sure, but I know people of Chad love you.
All right, on to the next thing.
I mean, as far as stocks, I feel like that covers everything that is there anything coming up stocks wise that you're looking at next? I mean, you said the data centers is right now.
No, data centers should be big for the next couple of years. Chips are going to be big for the next couple of years. The factories, Tesla and the AI stuff, and when his rocket. I know he was going to go with an IPO, but he's pulled it back now, and he's joining SpaceX and XAI together. So he's already worth $1 trillion easy. But that's something you definitely should get into once it does come to fruition. I did put some Tesla. I own some Tesla. But, you know, you just got to keep up with the news and what's happening. And the main thing is not to sell. You know, 2 months ago, I didn't even want to look. My buddy, a good friend of mine, we talk about this stuff all the time. He's a great stock picker. I'm like, you look? He's like, I ain't looking. You know, and we go play golf. I'll put the phone away. I don't check it. I didn't check it for like 3 weeks. You know, I didn't know if I was broke or not. I'm just riding the storm out. And that's what you got to do. Every time it went down a little bit, I got another hobby.
Delete that app for
I'm not watching. We're gonna Netflix it or something. We're not even gonna watch the news. But you know, you just got to hang tough. That's the big thing. Getting married next week, so it's pretty much all wedding all the time. And I'll have a lot of work coming up in the next week.
Very nice, very nice. What do you feel like, as far as jobs you've had in the past, that kind of helped shape the way you're looking at things, stock market wise, stuff like that?
I don't know about that. I mean, I've always been interested in the stock market, but I just didn't have the money. I didn't think I had the money. I was stupid. But I mean, the jobs I had, I guess, you know, that's none of it had to do with the stock market.
But I mean, obviously, you shaped your mind to a point where you can look at this stuff and
listen. When I was 15 years old, and that's 1979, I had a subscription to Money Magazine, because back then you got subscriptions to magazines, or else you didn't know what was going on in the world. And I actually would subscribe to it and get it once a month at my house at 15 years old. I was just always interested in that. So, you know, you got to make it a hobby and something you enjoy, and get into it and learn stuff, you know. And you're not going to do great all the time. It's not going to be great, but you could do the basics and still come out so much farther ahead than anyone else. You know, just ETFs, and just buy the S&P, and you don't have to go individual and learn all that stuff. You can if you want to, with a little on the side, but for the most part, it's just being aware and having fun with it.
Yep. Speaking of having fun with it, on the second half of the podcast, we are going to do the Mount Rushmore game a little bit more. I haven't told him any of the topics. He has no idea what we're going to be doing. So it's going to be fun watching you struggle through those.
Yeah, I think the stuff you want to talk about regarding my job history would be better when we introduce the book.
Introduce the book. Speaking of the book, we've officially heard back from the copyright people. We've paid the fee. We're just waiting for that bad boy to process. The book will be coming out within a month.
Yep. So I guess my past history and work history and things like that will become more relevant when we do that.
I got put it on the list. We'll circle back for sure. But as far as the first half, I feel like we did pretty well. You got anything else you got rattling around there before we roll into the second half Mount Rushmore?
No, I'm pretty content right now, you know. I mean, I did do the piss missile challenge yesterday.
Yeah, I smoked them, guys. I completely crushed them on 2 holes out of 18.
Well, we had a good time, even though it rained a little bit in the beginning. But there's a lot of video and a lot of shots, because I played 2 balls the first 9. The piss missile versus Mike Callaway, and then him and I just played the back 9. So actually, in actuality, I played 27 holes yesterday. Huh?
Yeah, no, I could feel you were getting a little tired there towards the second half, but then you caught a second win. You know, you were dragging when we were in the clubhouse a little bit. I thought we were done for.
Well, I mean, I don't usually have a hot dog in between. It slows me down. But
yeah, so speaking of the Piss Missile Golf Challenge, we are going to be posting that video soon. You'll have the yellow balls. You'll have the white balls. You guys will find out who wins at the end. That's going to be pretty fun.
Yeah, it was a good time.
And a compliment, one of the best ones he's ever given me. He said the words, "You can play with anybody." Ha! Ha! He said, "You can play with anybody," to me.
You know,
I'm going to ride high with that one for a while.
Every now and then you got to tap your dog on the head. You know what I'm saying?
Mm-hmm.
This is a good boy. Good boy.
I'm a good boy. That's right.
Good boy.
I could play with anybody. I'm a good boy.
You know, it was the first time we played together in probably 10 or 15 years or whatever.
Because the last time we played together at TPC Tampa Bay or something like that, I think it is, the one in Lutz, he said, I will never play golf with you again. Exact words, and he almost stuck to it.
Yeah. Well, you know, he wouldn't try. He'd just get up there and hack away. And, you know, it just was to spend that kind of money. I think I spent $150 for that round back then. And, you know, when he comes, I'm buying for two. It's never like he's carrying his own weight. So it's like, T, you want to go play golf? Sure, Dad. No, I got to multiply the green fees and everything else by two whenever he goes. And then it cuts into my monthly golf budget.
But I'm a good boy.
But he can hit the ball. So he can go a couple hundred yards at a time. And he did figure out how to navigate the slice and hit it over there to the left. So it landed there in the middle. So with that, and then he did have good air on his 9-iron and wedges and stuff. So there's potential there.
Hell yeah. See, positive reinforcement. We don't get that often. So I wanted to make sure I put that on live air. So I'll never forget it. One day, if I got dementia, I can look back and say, wow.
And I just want to put it on there because I have so much shit going on this week that I'm making him do. And I got to give him a compliment.
I'll take that one and ride it forever. All right. So on the second half, we're coming back with the Mount Rushmore game. Going to be a surprise for him. So we look forward to seeing you guys again. Thanks for joining us.
Thank you for listening to the Get Off My Lawn podcast, brought to you by Barn Door Innovations. We thank Voices from the Balcony Radio for the broadcast time. Follow us on social media at Pop Said, Get Off My Lawn on TikTok, Get Off My Lawn on Facebook, and Barn Door Innovations on YouTube. This was a Barn Door Innovations production.